Hello friends, welcome back. In the last video, we are able to install Codeigniter in our project. In this video, we will be configuring our database and setting up our view file. Please take note that in your project, if this .env is not in yours, that means you can see env in your file. Kindly rename it to look like .env. That's what we'll be using to configure our Codeigniter project. So when I open this .env, I locate my environment. I want to make sure I will be able to see error while developing my project. So I'll be able to debug my project. I have to uncomment this and change it to development. Change that to development. And I refresh. I refresh my browser. It still make no changes. It's going to make no changes in the project. That means it still look the same thing. Just not some configuration file. The next case, I will start to set up my base URL. Sorry about that. So I uncomment this. Then my base URL is found here. This is my base URL. I have to copy that and I paste it here, and that is my base URL. The next thing is to configure my database. So I need to locate database. Then I uncomment all this. I already set up this in the background a couple of seconds ago. So my database host name is localhost and my database name is play, which I created here. Go to the database here, I click on new, then create a database called play. This is it right here. Then my database username is root and my password is empty. Then my database driver, we are using MySQLi. Now we are done. When I refresh, let's refresh our project again. I'll make sure everything's working. And guys, you can notice a very new icon right here. When we change our project to development, this simple icon right here is used for debugging our project. Very useful for debugging. So I'm gonna close that off. It's a very new feature of Codeigniter4. The next thing now is to create our route to bring out the view where we are going to be needing our project to be able to create, read, update, and delete. So the first thing I will come to app, then controller is a default home controller that we are seeing on our browser. We have to create our own custom controller, which I'm going to do right here now. I'm going to create a new file called main.php. Inside the main.php, I'm start writing the codes and PHP first. Then I have to use the namespace. Codeigniter namespace, that I will say namespace. A namespace should be app and controllers. The controllers, then the next thing is to use our class. When I say class, main, then extend. I'm going to extend this base controller because in case you might need to use some helper as a global function in all your controller, all your helpers and library can be loaded this base controller. As you can see, this helper just have to pass it as a form helper, HTML helper, etc. So we are going to be using this base controller. I'm gonna extend this controller. I'll extend this controller. I'm done. The next thing for me is to import this class into this controller so we can use it. So what I do, I right click on this stuff and I import class. Right here, I was able to import my class. If your editor doesn't support importing class, you can just copy this down and make sure it's applied above the class function. Next thing is to create our constructor. So I'm going to say public function constructor or construct. And leave that time for now. We still use it later on. And next is to create our index page. And I'll say public function index. When you say echo, then just return something. Yeah, hello world. Now, how can we make controller our default controller? That means we want to use this Codeigniter default controller. I want to get rid of it. How to get rid of it? That I'm going to right click on this page and I can delete that or I can leave it like that. Or in this case, I'm going to leave it, but I will have to change my route to use main as a default controller. So I'm going to come to config and I locate route. In route.php, I set my route. As you can see now, it's getting this default URL as home and index. And in this case, we're going to change this to main and index. So it should work for us now. We came here and I refresh, and you can see, hello world is our default home page. Now the next case is to be loading view from our view files to the controller. So you come to view folder, then in the view folder I created a new folder under the view folder called public. Then inside the public I created a new file called index.php. In the index.php I was able to import the bootstrap class. I can see I import bootstrap classes, which is found in my directory. It's found under public, another play, then public assets, CSS and bootstrap.me.css, something like that. So I was able to import the CSS class. I was able to create a form. So just a simple two form right here, and I was able to create a simple table for me to see my credit data. So for me to load the view to the controller, I'm going to come to main controller. Then I get rid of this. And I return view. Where is the view form? It's found under public, and it's called index. Perfect. So we are done with the index for now. When I get to my browser and I refresh right here, as you can see, I was able to load the simple created view which I created a couple seconds ago, view file. Next video, we'll be able to be inserting data in here and inserting data into our database. I will see you then. Take care.